What's up, guys? We're going to rank the best dashes for PvP in V Rising today. Not going to do any crazy intros. If you like the content, obviously like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, all that fun stuff. And before we get into PvP, real fast, in terms of PvE, if that's what you're interested in, I would recommend just rocking the Chaos Dash, Veil of Chaos, because a lot of bosses will kind of like spam like AoE spots, like they'll like launch kind of like AoEs, not like a big charge up, or they'll like dash around a lot. So having the second dash just kind of helps a lot in terms of PvE. But without further ado, let's get into PvP. So coming in as the quote unquote worst of the dashes, and I'm gonna kind of walk through each of them, kind of tell my opinion on them. And when I say the worst, I don't mean it's bad. I just think it has less capabilities compared to others, and that's the Blood Dash. Veil of Blood. Dash towards input direction and elude nearby enemies for 2.2 seconds. Your next primary attack deals 25% bonus damage and heals you for 5% of your maximum health. Now, hear me out, and if you guys are users of this and you're going to get upset, no worries, but hear me out. The reason why is because the capabilities of this is limited on your ability to make sure you get an auto off. So the strength of this dash only really comes if you're just always dashing at the enemy. If you're never dashing to the side to dodge something or dashing back to get space, whenever you do that, it's useless. But if you're dashing at people, it's all right. It's not the best though. And the reason why is because you only heal for 5% of your max HP. So that's like not a big heal. It's really not. Like maybe if you're on like Brute Blood and then kind of run it that way, if you want to be like, an axe user who's running Power Surge and Rage and you're running this, like that's a good build. I think that could work. I think it's very, very potential, but this is such a niche dash for it to really be able to pay off and work effectively that I rate it as the worst. So here it is, and then this next attack, your next attack will deal 25% bonus damage and heal you. Not the biggest heal or the biggest amount of damage, and it relies on this dash being useful only if you're actually like charging at people. So that's why I have it ranked at the bottom. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have the Veil of Bones, which is the Unholy Dash. You dash towards input direction and elude nearby enemies, blah blah blah. Your next attack launches a projectile that deals 25% magic damage, bouncing up to 4 targets, and inflicts Amplify that increases damage taken by 25%. Now this one and the next ability, I kind of went back and forth on which one was 4 and number 3 because they're kind of similar. I'll get into that with the next one. But with this one, it's nice because you have control of the projectile that shoots out. So let me go ahead and show it. You dash, and then you can shoot that little green projectile out. The benefit of this is that you control it. So it comes down to your aim to be able to shoot it. However, the downside is that this is a singular dash that doesn't have a guarantee. Like if you miss that, it's just a singular dash and it's kind of weak, right? There's nothing else going for it after that first dash for like stronger outplay potentials. This is kind of an all-in dash similar to the Blood one, but it has a bit higher of a potential because you don't have to charge in at enemies. You can kind of still stay at a distance and then engage. So the Amplify is really good in the fact that if you do hit it, if there's nearby enemies, so if there's a clump, it will bounce around them. And typically, with a clan size of 4, if they're together, that's all the enemy that's going to get hit by this. So all of them will be amplified for 5 seconds for the 25%, which is really nice. If you dash in, hit that Amplify, and you go in with a combo, you ult in or something, like they're going to take a large more amount of damage off of that. However, if you do miss that, like if I'm aiming for the door and I hit the wall and they dodge it and it misses, then it falls flat. Coming in at number 3 is going to be the Veil of Illusion. So similar reasons with this one. While I was kind of talking with the Unholy one, kind of went back and forth on this. But after your whole dash and everything, you will spawn an illusion behind you. Your next primary attack deals 25% bonus damage, and then spawns illusion that throws projectiles that deal 40% magic damage, and you can recast it to return to the original spot. So the pros of this is the recast ability. There's a lot of outplays that you can do with this, where you kind of jump in, you're fighting your enemy, and you kind of TP back. They throw like a projectile, or you can jump in and you make your enemy think you're going to TP back, and you just stick with it. A lot of potential, a lot of ways that you can maneuver around and fake out people and just throw off their combos and skills when they throw them at you. The downside and why this isn't ranked any higher for me is the fact that the projectile that the illusion shoots out is via the AI. So it's the AI that shoots out. you don't have control of the shot. So you have to rely on the computer to hit the shot, which the computer aims like it's a level 5 archer mob in the far main woods. It doesn't feel like it hits a lot. I feel like it's not the best. I feel like most of the times it's pretty easy to dodge or just not even have to worry about it because it just doesn't really come close to you. And so because you don't have that control, I'm not the happiest with it. If it was something like after you dodge, like it shoots to where your mouse is, I'd be more intrigued. But because it just is like shoots out on its own, it makes it fall off from being able to be a higher spot when the outplay potential is so strong with it. Coming in at number 2, we're going to have the Veil of Chaos. This one has a lot going for you. After you dash, your next melee attack deals 25% bonus damage, so the same limits I mentioned before with all that. You can be recasted to dash once more, spawning a second illusion because the first one spawns the first one, and then your illusions explode, dealing 50% magic damage to nearby enemies. So this is nice because obviously the second dash is really powerful. If someone shoots one ability, you can dash. If they shoot another, you can dash. And these explosions are nice if you're being like chased. Like if I'm running from this door to that door and they're chasing me, I can dash, and as they're chasing me, they'll take damage. That's nice. But the distance on each dash is 60% roughly of the normal dash. It's a lot shorter. So you have a lot of capabilities. However, you don't have as much space to create with this on the initial dodge or kind of maneuvering around. So I think it's really good. I think the illusion damage is all right. And obviously a lot of the times it ends up not hitting just like the other stuff. But having the second cast capabilities right away can really allow you to kind of be mobile in terms of multi-directional. They kind of keep dodging around and maneuver around. But I don't think it's the number 1. Because sometimes you dash in and don't even get it, and for other reasons that you can probably think of. The number 1 dash, which is the last one, in my opinion, is Veil of Frost. And here is why. You dash, blah, 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 and you shield yourself for 125% of your spell power. So every time you dash, you get that shield. You don't have to hit anyone to basically get your life back, and the shield is going to be more than 5% of your max HP. Without any spell power. Like I have no spell power right now, and the shield is about 50, right? So that's like guaranteed getting 50 HP versus the 5% heal that requires you to hit someone. And the way shields work in this game is it's just basically increasing your HP temporarily. So you get basically the blood dash without having to hit someone, and it scales off your spell power. So if you want to, if you go full scholar, or even just like Amulet of the Frost, you have a high amount of we're going with that combo, you have a high amount of spell power that just kind of enables this really strong shield that will always be there when you dash. You don't have to do anything else to make it happen. You just always have that shield, which is really strong in team fights. And then obviously that's not the only thing. Your next primary attack deals 25%. So again, you have to have the melee. And then you also conjure a Nova of Frost, dealing 50% magic damage and inflicting chill on nearby enemies. Now, obviously, this is really, really strong if you run a secondary Frost ability. However, even without that, the fact that you get a dash that gives you such a strong shield, and you have that which will explode, is just a really strong combo in my opinion. I think this is the best dash. I think just the consistent shield that you always have is worth it. And yeah, so give me your thoughts, and if you think I messed up on any of these rankings, or if there's anything I'm wrong about, I'd love to hear what you think is the best dash, and I hope you enjoyed this content. Till next time.